All right, good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome into NFT Live. We're bringing you the Web3 news from around the industry, and we're doing it here on the Web3 network. We're just coming over from the morning show on Twitter Spaces, where we got a little spicy with the Spanish translation here from Biggie Poppins himself. Of course, Gifdead is hosting those every day, and that was another good one on AI generation. I don't see enough AI generation happening right now in the space. Gifdead.
Hey, Poppy!
Yee! What's up?
What up,
Hey,
fellas? Somebody fight it out.
Yo, I mean, look, we got Biggie here to be our Spanish Poppy for today, so I'm gonna make you zoom in on me to send it back over to him.
Your wish is my command. Biggie, what's up, man?
Obliged.
You up or down on CockPunch?
Oh my God, dude. Well, depends, right? I definitely added to my bags on secondary. Added a little more this morning. I don't give a fuck, dude. As far as I'm concerned, thank you. They're my cocks now, and they are in good hands. Very good hands.
The Spanish cocks hit different.
Prodigy, good to see you here in the house. Hash Rhymes as well. Thank you guys for tuning in early. We just pressed live on the episode. We're going to talk a bunch of quick news, of course, but we also have Blur versus OpenSea. We are finally going to hit the top 50 Coindesk. It's been on the docket for the last 3 days. The last 72 hours, we've been trying to cover this top 50. The first time, it kind of just blew up. Like the whole website wasn't accessible.
Their website, get your website to work.
Yeah, Coindesk. Yeah, Coindesk. And anyways, we're going to hit that because we couldn't get our hands on the Vogue Top 100 in Web3. But we will be hitting Coindesk. And then Aavegotchi came out with some dope PvP gameplay that I want to give a shout out to. I didn't know you were an Aavegotchi holder, Biggie. You're just an absolute
dude.
OG.
Day one minter, man, an absolute DJ in Aavegotchi. I love Pixelcraft Studios. I'm part of the dopest guild out there. Yeah, dude, I'm really pumped. That caught me off field. Like, honestly, when I saw them post that,
yeah,
I was like, what? Like, it's about damn time, man. It's about damn time. I think what they're doing is like, it's so undervalued. I don't understand why people have not checked it out yet. I mean, just for the art itself, and the community's got like amazing vibes. I know we got a couple of people in our space that are also big Gotchi fans. I don't know if Choin is around, but shout out to her. I don't know.
For some reason, I always wanted to peg Choina as a female, but he's definitely a dude. I spoke with him on the phone. But yeah, shout out to Choina, our Vibe, our tribe there. One of the most underrated projects in the space, definitely. Aavegotchi flies under the radar. Only reason I even found out about Polygon back in the day was that ETH Polygon bridge that they forced you to go on with the Ghost token. Woo! So they're.
I mean, is there any like legit alpha or good ways to get in right now, or is it all kind of like if you didn't get in, you're probably not going to get a good entry?
No, I think right now is a great entry. I think it's on sale. It's just blasphemous. I don't know. I'm just obviously I'm a big fan. I hold several gotchis, pet them every day. I do not forget that tab. It's just always open. So funny, dude. I even have to like mute it when I do because for some reason my dog freaks out with a little noise. So every time I have to pet him, I have to.
So what do you get? What do you get for petting them? Are you earning tokens?
No, you get experience points, and oh man, I'm trying to see if I can share the screen with you guys. And I forget what do they call it again? It's not like you get XP points, but you also get.
So yeah. So we're jumping into Aavegotchi early, which I'm completely fine with. I am going to show a video of the gameplay really quick. It's like a PvP trailer essentially, which is what I've been interested in for a while. So they essentially have land parcels, they have NFT assets, and it's a pixelated world. So it's not like an other side. It's not like what we normally look at when it comes to thinking about metaverses. It's more 2D, kind of like pixelated characters. I'll give you one look here as Biggie gets. That information ready. So this is going to be just the trailer for PvP.
So freaking cute.
Let me make sure I get this.
Do you own gotchis as well, Q? I'm getting a vibe that you do.
I definitely own Ghost, and I wanted to get it on the land parcels, but I do not own much. I didn't get it in the land parcel. It looks like there was a bracket there.
Mm.
But I've had the team on multiple times. Golden Cross has been on the channel, a good friend of the channel there. So you can see kind of their battle arena there.
It is really, really, really cool. Like I can't wait, man. I think once people catch on to this, it's gonna be like wildfire. Let me.
It feels like we say that a lot about Aavegotchi. That's the only downside of Aavegotchi is like they come out with this dope shit and we're like, this is it. This is where we're gonna break through. And no Web3 game is really there yet, of course, but I feel like we do say that more on Aavegotchi. It's like, damn, they're really innovating, but it just never breaks through to the most of the market.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's Polygon in general. No, I mean, can we say that? I know Polygon's been thriving, and we're all real happy. I think the latest win was the Reddit avatar NFTs. But for all their progress and their onboarding of like massive, like you still don't hear people talking a lot about projects on Polygon, right? Other than like, okay, Odyssey's coming out or this or that. But I mean, to me, these guys are as close to like the CryptoPunks of Polygon as you can get. They've been there from day one. The community super strong, and man, they just do not stop shipping. So I don't know. To me, it's not financial advice, but it's a pretty solid bet that once we do see a lot more people start transacting and using Polygon as opposed to ETH, these guys are going to be front and center. So I'm not worried. But like you said, yeah, it's taken long enough, but it's a winding road, Q. We'll get there.
No, I get it. Yeah. Look, they honestly are one of the projects that its DeFi principles a lot better than a lot of other projects. But the addition of those DeFi principles right now, it's a little bit prohibitive to people that want to get in because it is a big ecosystem, kind of tough to get your arm around. I mean, even look at this. This is a roadmap. This is a shit ton of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. What you were asking about, for example, right now, GIF was like, what do you get for petting? It's kingship that you get. So how close you are with your Aavegotchi, but that also affects like your XP and other things. So yeah, it's definitely got a learning curve to it. And I'm by no means an expert. I got friends that are completely obsessed with that I deal with whenever I have some questions, but I think it's definitely worth checking out, jumping into. You can even get, I don't know what gotchi like version 2 gotchis are at right now, but I really appreciate that their whole thing is not scarcity. They're very much of like the more the merrier. That's their mindset. Like, they want everybody to own an Aavegotchi, and of course, like Gen 1 is going to be more valuable than Gen 5 or whatever. But it also, like, there's so many different factors at play that can get your Aavegotchi to pop, let's say, and what you're going to use it for, like that. Just there's a lot of opportunity to imbue it with value, right? Whether it's socially or with battle games or just exploring or farming. It's really, really a cool little world they built there.
I want to go over the details and wrap this combo up and move on to the next topic. But I appreciate those thoughts there, Big E. I've got the roadmap up here. So test release is going to be December 16th, December 19th. So this is like a beta release essentially, or like right before they go live. And then public access they're planning for in January for this PvP battle royale mode. Which is just as a gamer, like this is one thing that is in Web3 gaming right now. It's a lot of PvE. It's a lot of player versus environment stuff. You're not really playing against anybody else. If you do have some of that, it's more co-op based. So like I'm in there and I've played with a couple games with Prodigy where it's me and him versus AI. And not, oh fuck, there's AI. But like an NPC, for example. So just having the addition of PvP in that environment will be dope. So some cool updates there. I will play this with audio. I feel like I almost did it a disservice there, not playing any audio, and then we will pop on to the next topic.
Love it.
ソーシもらった頑張れポップソーシマリエメチャマルコショーマンあれのトイレ
All right. I will never play a video without audio again. Wow, that that was like 10 times better with the audio. Totally did a disservice. Gift, do you have any last thoughts or questions there on Aavegotchi? I know you pretty much asked why isn't it popular, and I hope we kind of answered a little bit.
I feel like it is at least semi-popular. Like I've heard people talking about Aavegotchi, mostly UQ, but like I've seen it around. I've heard people talking about it for the last 2 years. I haven't gotten into it. It didn't like grab my attention, or I wasn't there when it launched. It looks interesting, right? Like I like that it's interactive. It's doing a lot. It seems like they've got some DeFi principles. Like, and again, to Biggie's point, like if they are like one of the OGs on the Polygon chain, like that could be interesting and valuable in of itself, provenance wise. So I don't know. I'm like more interested the fact that they keep building, keep shipping, and like they're still here, and people they're still like. There's a community, there's a fan base that likes what they're doing. Like, again, the fact that Biggie is like, yo, I fucking keep my tabs open and pet my shit every day is like, oh,
Yeah.
that's like some, no, like that's
They
like,
have a hardcore
that's like
community.
that's an anecdote, but it's like, that shows that there is that level of like loyalty and fandom and engagement there. So I am increasingly more interested. That's why I'm curious, like why y'all think that it hasn't maybe taken off to that next level. But I don't know. Maybe it's something I'll get into. I don't know.
You will give.
Yeah,
just a matter of time.
I don't know, man. All my liquidity all my liquidity just went into buying a fucking CockPunch at the top. So I don't know, bro.
But Gifdead was like lamenting the price of CockPunch. We got to wait this out a little bit, Gift. Like this is a 3 to 6 month potential flip or like a long-term project. I'll pull up a floor. All right. We will get into this. I also will pull up what happened on GM Web3 Morning Show this morning. I mean, this rundown right here will give you a look at just the absolute debauchery. Like this, first of all, dope NFT wall, probably the coolest NFT wall that I've ever seen here from our man Nox Darkness. But yeah, we had a Renaissance man pregnant with potatoes. I think was potentially
apparently that's Trish Rita's AI project. I didn't know, but Trish has apparently been creating these like.
It's got to need some vitamin D.
Yo, Flurp did that off of one of my gym selfies, which is hilarious. So anyway, but you know what, Q and Biggie, I don't see y'all sharing any of your thirst traps, and I'm frankly offended by your lack of participation this morning.
Yeah, definitely. I need to look into that.
Yeah, are you gonna pay $3 so that you could share those on Twitter? Is that your thing, Biggie?
The fuck? What? I didn't know you had to.
Yeah,
pay.
you have to pay for it.
For Lenza, but you don't have to use Lenza. Lenza just has this like specific tool for selfies or whatever, right? And
I'd rather pay somebody on Fiverr and support like a normal person.
But they do a pack. They do a pack though, so it's like you pay $3 and you get like 50. So like,
shit!
It's not that bad. Like
I thought it was like per one. Okay, 50. No. All right, that's fine.
No.
All right, yeah, that sounds good.
Q is just absolutely hating so hard on all of this. Like he's over there smashing the thumbs down emote while we're all having fun. Literally raining on everybody's fucking parade. Like, oh my god!
Just because I don't want to see Gifdead's like naked body on my fucking Twitter thread every single morning.
Naked body? What?
I'm just saying. Do you see some of these AIs?
Body am I, dude? Pull up where I've shared my naked body, bro. What are you talking about?
I will find this. All right. Buffalo's saying, Q, you need a new computer for Christmas. So we got down to the bottom of the issue that's happening here. It is an internet issue. It is a router issue. So that is being handled. It should be handled by next week. Verizon said that they're going to come in and do what they do. But it is a connectivity, like an internet. Yeah. I will be footing the bill for this extra quality that you guys will see. All right. I was going to pull up CockPunch on OpenSea, but I was sitting in GM Web3 Morning Show this morning. We were going through a recent Blur post, and you know what?
The floor's
I'm going to put my money.
The floor's below 1E.
Yeah. I'm burying the lead here. I will never go on OpenSea again. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is here, and I need to stop. Like, I keep talking shit on OpenSea, and then I keep going and showing them on the channel and doing all these things. I'm not going to use OpenSea anymore. So I'll go to X2Y2 right now, but I also could go to Blur. Like, which marketplace should I transfer my loyalty to? Although it was pretty. Which one?
Uniswap.
Uniswap? I can do Uniswap.
Yeah, I don't know why X2Y2 or Blur would be somehow better than OpenSea though. It's confusing to me. Like they're all sort of guilty of the same shit right now. At least OpenSea has kind of taken a stand for protecting royalties.
After we held them at gunpoint.
But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter.
It's like, okay. Okay. Nope. We were not going to do this.
No.
It does matter. It does matter.
What other? Okay, it does. But also, what other marketplace has come out very clearly on a stance that is pro artist, pro royalty protection? What other marketplace has done that?
So I will say this, and I didn't get into it because we were having like multiple combos, and people were bringing in some great points, but. Blur at least launched this incentive royalty program, right? Like that's an open market response to maybe trying to figure out how we get to a point where we pay creators. What if that tool did work? You know, and I think we have to obviously let that. Do you have any data on whether the token incentive royalties worked out? Do you have any data on that?
No. And I agree that in a world where like the default is zero royalties, that like this is an okay incentive idea. The problem is that it's still setting a standard that artists getting paid is optional. That's the problem here, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like do I want to like clap for Blur? When they're kind of, in my opinion, from where I get that it's like this is not everybody agrees. Some people are literally just hardcore traders that don't give a fuck about the ethos of creating a new paradigm and a more equitable world for creators. I get some people don't give a shit about that. I get that. But where I come from, I'm not happy that Blur is using artists and royalties as bargaining chips to try and capitalize and build their own market share, and that they aren't standing up just for royalties like for themselves, right? And that again, they are creating a standard of artist payments being totally optional. It's just like, they don't really matter, right? So like do it if you want, and like, you know, for now, for limited time, maybe we can incentivize that a little bit, but like it's about the standard and the principle of it, in my opinion. So
I could get behind some of that. I really can. Easy in Crypto saying OpenSea keeps delisting my friends' NFTs for no reason. Flubber is in the house. I want to go back to Flubber's comment. Buffalo, let's throw down and get some fiber optics. Okay, so we're just like putting in a fund for my better quality video. Here's again, like we're gonna have the Blur OpenSea discussion. We're kind of having it now, so maybe we just can bring up that post. But Blur has done multiple. OpenSea really hasn't provided any value to their community members as far as revenue is concerned, as far as kind of splitting any profits, kind of doing anything that really we've seen from other marketplaces that operate in this way. They were completely VC funded. They have taken every ounce of dollars that they've taken from the community, and it's in their pockets. Of course, they're launching tools, and this is how businesses should work. But there's a ton of other marketplaces that have come out with token airdrops, come out with tools that allow for maybe those royalties to get paid. Again, I need to see that work out in real time. But if I'm comparing a Blur and an OpenSea, it's like, okay, well, one is this behemoth that essentially is running on first runner advantage at this point, hasn't done anything to give back to the community other than launching tools that make it easier and benefit their business model. So, and really they've been a laggard in that case. Like a lot of the things that we've wanted to see from OpenSea have taken years, longer than we've wanted it to. So
dude,
when I'm looking at Blur and
OpenSea's not perfect. Like nobody, I think, is arguing that OpenSea is perfect.
No, it's just like the ideals that they've had from day one. Once they took that VC money, instead of going the opposite route, it's like we have other marketplaces that offer better like incentive splits with the community. Like even having a token alone gives you an incentive into being a part of that community. Rarible did the same thing. I'm not going to die up on the hill for Rarible, but at least when you're talking about, hey, we've got a successful quote unquote marketplace, the community can get behind that as opposed to VCs getting rewarded for that.
You know, VCs are behind Blur too, right?
Yeah, but they also had a Blur token airdrop. They're doing other things for the community and things like this that OpenSea decided not to do. Yeah, companies of that scale need to get funded. I agree with that.
What are these Blur care packages worth exactly?
They could be worth 5 cents. It's more than fucking OpenSea.
So you'd feel good about grinding through their fucking program that they're putting everybody through, working for these fucking care packages, and then finding out that at the end of 6 months of all this fucking hype and basically fucking you around and like treating you like, oh yo, you're fucking earning all this shit, that it was worth 5 cents. You'd be cool with that?
Do you have the actual information that it's going to be 5 cents?
No, my point is you don't either. And so you're hyping up this token airdrop right now like they've somehow done something fucking great.
Because it's more than OpenSea that has ever done for any of the community members.
But also, I'm just saying,
ecosystem.
We don't, like, they're also VC backed, and we don't actually know yet. And I'm not saying it's not going to be worth anything. It could be worth a lot for the people that actually grind it. It could be worth a ton. But I feel like you're giving them a lot of credit before they've really done anything.
They've done in their very short amount of time more for the community in that way. And you're right that there needs to be efficient token models and things for this to do well. But they've done more in 3 months than OpenSea has ever even thought about doing when it comes to launching a different token, doing different incentive programs, all of these things related to people getting rewarded for participating on the network, as opposed to just saying, come on our platform and pay this fee. And by the way, they continue to do so. And by the way, we told them not to fucking go to 0% royalties, or else they would have.
I think the solution to this is that we should launch our own marketplace, Web3 marketplace. What do you guys think in the community?
Easy.
We should.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you could go ahead and launch our competitor marketplace tomorrow.
This is a problem. Another competitor marketplace here, Uniswap. I'm trying to find CockPunch. I can't find CockPunch. So is it under a different? Is it under a different piece here?
I got it. I can share it.
Jesus,
I can share it. No, if you search CockPunch, it should come up on OpenSea pretty easily. But this is it.
Not on OpenSea.
I want to know, Q.
Yeah.
Do you own a CockPunch by now
on Uniswap,
or is it just me and Gif that are in the arena?
Listen. Okay. I'm getting put on the spot here multiple times because I almost said that I've been getting bullied for the Hasbulla, and I went to go buy it, and it's on Polygon, so I need to do this. Gif, I said no OpenSea.
Oh, I don't know. I guess I didn't understand.
We're fine. What's the floor price? What's the floor price? 0.93.
It's below an ETH now. Yeah, I'm not feeling good about aping in at the top. I'll say that much. Right now feels bad, bro. But hey, don't be like me. Don't do what you know is wrong and do it anyway.
I think we're jumping the gun there on that. I mean, I know you can buy one cheaper now. Don't get me wrong. Short term, you could have bought one cheaper now, but I don't think long term you're in a bad spot.
Yeah, I don't think so either. It's so incredible to me that it just this story keeps happening again, especially with like people of this caliber, right? Whether it's Gary V or Kim Rose, people buy into it, they flip it, takes a little while. There's a quiet before the storm. Then either a sweep comes in or an announcement happens and they blow up, right? And everybody's like, "Oh my god, I didn't have a chance." It's like, this is your chance, motherfucker. You have chance. I think from now until Sunday, this could be like the last chance that you have. Not financial fucking advice. It can go to zero, of course, but I think it's a solid bet. I'm feeling pretty bullish about it. You know, it just baffles me, I guess.
I will do this. It's on. Of course, CockPunch is on Ethereum. I have that all set up on the laptop and the MetaMask that I use frequently. So I will go ahead and jump in solidarity with Gifdead. I will do it. Okay, it's on Ethereum. It will be done. Again, it's not the hospital situation.
Maybe you wait for tomorrow for reveal, which is what I think a lot of people might be doing, right?
So you're
trying to snipe some rare ones.
You're gonna jump in at 0.9.
I'll jump in after the show. Unless you want me to do it on show, but it's going to take away from my directing abilities here.
It's a little bit.
I know, because then Gif is going to ask what marketplace you're going to use, and he's going to get pissed. So do not.
Like, do it however you want. Look, this is a free open source.
Is it a free market? Is it a free market?
It's a free market. Look, like again, people are gonna degen how they're gonna degen. Again, I have my own beliefs and ethoses, and I'm gonna fight for those. But I know damn well that everybody else is gonna do what they're gonna do, right? Like, that's it.
Yeah. All right, we are getting to the remainder of quick news here before we jump in. I will share we can hop back into that conversation, and I will share the Blur and OpenSea kind of tiff. They actually went after it on Twitter a little bit. CockPunch updates. Biggie, do you have anything else other than the floor price being at 9.93? Anything come? I know Tim Ferriss had a congratulation.
Right now, right? All he said was like, "I'm flattered. Thank you. This is going to have a great impact on the world. I feel good about that already." And I mean, no, it's not over, right? I would very much like to ask a lot of these flippers. It's like what their argument is for selling and not waiting for at least the first announcement, but that's up to them. It's their loss, our gain, Gif. Because I dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm sure we've degened into a lot crazier projects before, right? With fucking undoxed founders, with crazy roadmaps. I mean, come on. Like,
I don't know if I was buying single. I don't know if I've bought single NFTs for 1.6 ETH though from those. So that's the only difference.
We're like soothing gift spheres here.
I know.
I think the fundamentals are solid, man. We're gonna pull this episode back up.
I appreciate it, right? It's part of it, man. Like, I mean, like I told you, I mean, I was on the allow list, but I've bought a couple more after, and I'm down on those, and I'm fine. I'm, like, we've been here before, Gif. For whatever other reasons, like, this is just, I'm here for you, bro. But let's just wait. Let's just wait for what comes out in these following weeks. I'm sure you will not be disappointed. It'll be fun.
Y'all are the nicest. I just want to say that.
We're family. OVOT.
We got you, dude. I'll be joining in solidarity. Hopefully, again, I almost like want to be down so I could be down with you. You know what I mean? That's how much we care. Easy and Crypto saying,
do not, whatever weird instinct that is, do not listen to it. Do not follow that.
Easy and Crypto saying, I completely missed all the info on CockPunch. I think I was in Miami. We've talked about CockPunch on this episode or these shows for like the last 3 weeks to a month, which I've said CockPunch more times in that time period than I will ever again say in my entire life. But I was surprised at seeing the reaction from the community on it selling out. Like, everyone was like, wait, what the fuck is CockPunch? It was like, he was everywhere. Like, the NFT space isn't that big. Like, he was literally on Bankless. We've been talking about on this channel. He was on like multiples. He was in Marvel. Yeah.
Everywhere.
And people were like, wait, what is this CockPunch selling out? I'm like, yo.
I feel like
I
feel like people in the bear market are kind of tuned out to an extent. and so they're only kind of picking up on things like even if they kind of hear it, they're not really like going out doing like the things to get on it, or like, and then once it sells out, then everybody's like, oh, a thing sold out, maybe I should pay attention. I feel like when we were in the bull market, everybody was like hyperactive, like, yo, get me on a whitelist, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, because most people were like making money, feeling good, and they were like invested. And I feel like the way that people are participating in the space right now is much slower, like just
I would say
kind of tuned
cautious,
out,
no?
much more
No,
cautious. That's
you're
part of it.
cautious, and it's valid that you're cautious. I mean, it's no small amount of potatoes here, right? I think you have to do your due diligence, but I really I do question. It's like, okay, like, I do think I still consider that this bear market is far from over. I know some people are feeling bullish and everything, but I am a proponent of, like, we are beholden to the macro and to the world political stage right now, and there's a lot of shit going on. I don't think we're gonna get out of this like so fast, so quickly. I appreciate people's great sentiments on it, but it's also, I think, the best time to, like, it doesn't mean that there aren't great builders out there with awesome ideas, like coming out with stuff that's valid and that's valuable, right? And I understand that right now CockPunch at 1 ETH or 1.6 or however much amount you pay, you may have to pay for it. It's not easy to pull the trigger on that, right? You have to have a lot of confidence, but I think, like, that's why you have to do your homework, right? I mean, that's why I feel so comfortable betting on this dude, right? Like, I've been following this guy for the past decade. Everything he's ever done has been called an experiment. Everything, the approach he's always taken with everything was like under promise, over deliver. And if you just see what his his followers are like, the people that follow him, the people that he networks and does projects with are like, it's a very solid bet, I think, amongst so many other things that are, God knows, maybe they're cheaper, right? Maybe they're like 0.03 mint, but
I
you
also
do not
don't
have what he
understand.
has.
I also, again, I don't understand the people that are like selling so quickly. It's crazy, but
It's
again, that's
crazy.
part of the market. But
well, those people are up.
Real
probably.
quick,
They're probably the mentors.
Side note: Hash Rhymes, check your wallet, because we finally just transferred you your Reddit avatar prize NFT.
Oh.
So Hash Rhymes won a giveaway, I think last week, for a Reddit avatar, and just transferred that. So congrats again, you earned it. Enjoy
Lovely
it.
Community member right
Hell yeah,
there.
Hash Rhymes.
I'm happy.
Appreciate you very much.
Yeah.
I have one last comment here from Kicks.eth. He's great follow here on Twitter. Who I thought had an interesting comment. He said Tim Ferriss's CockPunch project is an example of a launch that can generate net inflows into the space. If active NFT traders trade to each other, that's not creating any net inflows. If Tim Ferriss has a bunch of friends and fans that don't trade NFTs that come in and buy, that's net inflows. So I mean, the data, I don't know, you kind of have to look at it, like, see if these were active traders before they got into Tim Ferriss, but that's a fair point. I mean, it's a project that's not recycling the same amount of capital within the same ecosystem that we have here. It's like, I'm sure were some people that got in that had no idea what NFTs were, hadn't put a dime in NFTs, and then got into it, which I think is a great point that he made there. The other point that I will say is, go ahead, Biggie.
No. I was just gonna tell both of you that you do need to get in on the, once you own a CockPunch, especially, there is already an unofficial CockPunch Discord being run by some pretty prominent birds. Really strong community right off the bat. I mean, this is obviously because Tim Ferriss said he was not going to be running any Discords or anything like that. But I think, a big part of the success of this project, the onus is also on us, right? Like, as the community. And if you just pop into that Discord, if you can, I think they were gonna lock it down by at some point today. Really strong people, very well-known names. I'm just saying. Leave it at that.
Yeah, and I'll leave it here with a last comment from myself here is, like, if I've seen any of my network and friends that get involved in projects really interested in I guess like believing in a project so much, I literally would never not get into that project. That was a roundabout way of saying I've gotten burned many times in this space where guys have been like, hey, you need to get in. Like, this is what's going on. This is why I believe it, all this stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, but didn't get in. All of those projects I can name on like my hand here have just pumped to the fucking moon, as opposed to kind of just like ones you hear on Twitter and just get kind of, you're trying to kind of chase the hype. I think this one is definitely gonna do well. So Gifdead, I hope you're feeling better after that is all said.
I feel so much better. Also, I totally chased the hype on it and did exactly what I know not to do. Don R, great comments over here. Let's not forget the tremendous value we derive just from what we learn by being involved, buying, owning, supporting projects. There's value in it. It's not all about money. Great fucking point, Don R. And you know what? That's why we keep showing up every day, because we truly believe that this technology is important, understanding is important, the community is important, all of the other things besides just the financialization and the money aspects. So,
shit, I was just gonna go in a money route too.
So let's talk about it.
I was gonna say
money
Gifdead,
money matters. The money does matter too.
Well, Gifdead brought up multiple times when we talked about this for the last couple of weeks that Tim is going to see some money from secondary sales, and there were a shit ton.
Yeah, is it like 3,000 in volume right now? Like 3,
well, that's
3,000.
That's why. Damn. That's why when people kept treating this like, oh, he's so altruistic, it's all going to a charity. First of all, it's his own charity. So it's like,
Gift's now upgraded to funding his own bags.
No, that's not it. No, man.
I know.
Come on.
Joking.
I blame that on SBF, dude. I get you, Gift. Like it's hard, right? Like we just got burned by what we thought was like our saving angel. So now anybody that comes out and says that shit, it's like you're highly suspicious of course.
It's transparency, because everybody kept talking about it's so philanthropic, it's so altruistic, and it's like, look, it's very strategic is what it is. Just like SBF positioning himself as this the effective altruist guy, and then he's now in the DMs that have come out basically saying it was all bullshit. Like, I'm just saying we need to be realistic about this stuff. First of all, yes, it's good that the primary sale is going to a charity. That's great. But let's not ignore the fact that it's his own charity, and then he's taking 7% royalties on all this. He's making a fuck ton of money. This isn't just some altruistic fucking whatever.
No, I will say this, as opposed to SBF, this guy does have a 10-year track record of delivering value and doing things that are altruistic or not, like good for the world, good for the people. And I think it's like, if you study some of the way like Tim Ferriss approaches a lot of his projects, and like he's one of those guys that teaches you how to think. I think he hasn't said anything about the secondary sales gift is because, one, you want to make sure that you can make a business a self-sustaining ecosystem, right? But I would not be surprised that once this thing starts getting traction, like he will come out with something where a percentage of that might continue to go to that foundation, or perchance others, right?
It might.
Let's see.
It's pure speculation. Yeah. It's pure speculation. But I think the point to me is there's a reason why in all of the PR marketing stuff, it very clearly said primary sales and then no mention of secondary sales, because all that does is give him the flexibility to do whatever he wants. And I just kept bringing it up because nobody else was fucking talking about it. They were all just reading the fucking PR that was put in front of them, right? And so, yes, they're like, he might be reinvesting it back in the project, some percentage of it. Maybe he'll put more of it into the charity, but also some of that shit he's going to be pocketing and using for whatever he wants. So that's fine. It's his own business. That's fine. I just didn't like when people were just like, oh, it's so philanthropic. It's all just going to a charity. It's like,
all right. So
No.
There's the news on CockPunch. You know how I'm buying one after the show, and you know how we've all got in at this point now, and
we're gonna be checking back on this 3 weeks from now, like the Hasbro
in the WAGMI report.
We're gonna be in the WAGMI report, like, yo, Q, where's your CockPunch? We'll be like, oh, I'm looking at the floor. I don't know. What do you think? I don't know.
It's not another Hasbulla. See, I didn't know the Hasbulla thing was gonna catch on, and then y'all kept talking about it. And then I went to go actually buy one, like I said, and it's on Polygon. So, anyways, if you're looking for the next CockPunch, real quick, Biggie, and then I'll get to you. Yeah. The next CockPunch is happening tomorrow. We've been covering Toys R Us for literally way longer than we've needed to. Do you see that? December 9th, 2022, Magic Eden. I already have my Solana wallet set up on this computer. I could buy this shit live on screen for you guys if you don't believe me. And we're getting on the yacht party that is happening.
I don't believe anything you say anymore. Dude, this Hasbulla situation has thrown me for a loop. I feel like I can't trust anything you say anymore, Q.
Who can you trust these days? And you know who I can't trust? Geoffrey. Not Geoffrey. Geoffrey the Giraffe, even though it's spelled with a G. Geoffrey the Giraffe's going to deliver on this utility. There's a clear Bored Ape-esque yacht club roadmap that we see here that includes a yacht party. It says literally Toys R Us party. So I'll be going to that. I'll be reporting on this, and it launches tomorrow on Solana. And I want to, you know what? I'm going to look at one of these comments because I did see one that I want to comment on. Damn it, I lost him. He basically said that I see what you're doing, Toys R Us. I remember who you were. I'm from 92. You deserve success. Go on and do it. And that's what I want to say to the people at Toys R Us is go and do it. Go launch a successful NFT project. Fuck all the haters that say you're not going to launch a yacht party. I'll be there on the yacht. See you there.
Bro, I am so like, I'm like, all right, there's not gonna be a Toys R Us yacht party. Like, I'm
this
sorry.
This is the hater.
I am so sure that this is not happening and that this is just marketing PR bullshit. But like, look, prove me wrong.
It's a toy yacht party gift. That's the thing that you didn't specify. It's a toy yacht party. You can bring your own G.I. Joe, whatever.
I'm just hoping it's not a metaverse yacht party because I could see them moving in there. I need the IRL stuff. You know what I mean? So,
Squash Man's playing 4D chess with the 200 IQ moves over here. Sold CockPunch at the top to go all in on Geoffrey the Giraffe. Yo, Squash Man's fucking miles ahead of all of us.
Risk reward, right?
Yo, Squash Man, come on the show and fucking show us how it's done, bro. That type of fucking Sigma energy is what we need.
Bro, if you look at the value to that price that was purchased for, you purchased at 1.6, something like that. That means Tim Ferriss needs to outperform Toys R Us by like 17x on whatever he does in value for the community members. Can he do it? I don't know. Because you're getting these Toys R Us NFTs at $100, folks. At $100. I'm gonna buy up like 10 Geoffreys. Oh, there I go again. All right, I'm going to the comments. Time is in the chat saying they're getting in on Toys R Us. You just said Squash Man is selling the top there on CockPunch, so congratulations. Easy in Crypto, I am a Toys R Us kid, never got a soul NFT before. And Flubberoonie saying Toys R Us bouncy castle yacht. Would love to see that. That's utility. So no details here that I have for you today other than it is tomorrow. I didn't see a time for those. It will be on Magic Eden, so you do need to have a Solana wallet. I usually go with Phantom. None of this, of course, is financial advice when you're talking about Toys R Us non-fungible tokens. Any last thoughts, folks? All right.
I am rooting for Geoffrey the Giraffe. I would love, as a Toys R Us kid myself, I would love for him to succeed. I don't actually buy into the fact that there's going to be a yacht party. I don't think it's going to happen. But you know what? I would love to be proven wrong. And Q, when you and Biggie are out there partying on the bouncy yacht,
we're reporting from it, dude.
You know what? I'll be happy. I'll be happy to see it.
An NFT live direct on location. The other part that's really funny about this is that there was some intern or like some small arm of an already dwindling Toys R Us company that was like, we should launch NFTs a year ago, and they launched it on Solana. and this all this FTX shit happening in like the last 3 months. They're like, shit, we went with the wrong chain.
Look, also, since I've got my positive hat on right now, being the positive guy over here, look, I want to be clear also, because we talk a lot about all the FUD around Solana. Q famously has painted me as some Solana hater, and I want to be clear. You're muted like a total amateur.
You painted yourself. You painted yourself in that light.
Look, I think long-term Solana is going to stick around. And again, for the benefit of the space, like, we need Solana to succeed. So, like, actually long-term, I'm still kind of bullish on it. But we do just talk about the obvious problems and trials and tribulations that are happening right now. They do have a lot of issues right now. And that's just being honest. That's not,
I agree.
I'm not trying to FUD it. There's a lot.
That's the nicest thing you said.
There's a lot of shit going on over there right now. But again, look at these amateurs. They can't even figure out where their mic button is. Oh my gosh.
I'm live.
Go ahead, Biggie. Sorry.
You're muted, Biggie. Him. Oh no.
Did we lose him? Biggie thought I was talking shit, but maybe he's rugged. Uh-oh.
He's coming back. We'll get him back.
All right.
We'll get that audio back. All right.
Jump out, jump back in.
Yeah, jump out. All right, real quick, a quick update on Starbucks. This was an announcement from September 12th, so it has been a couple months since we've got the announcement that Starbucks was jumping into Web3 via Odyssey. The announcement here is that Nifty Gateway has been tabbed as their partner, and they put this announcement out last night. The Starbucks Odyssey market powered by Nifty Gateway is officially in beta. This represents a huge step forward for the entire Web3 community, yada, yada, yada. Nifty Gateway was designed from the ground up, yada, yada, yada. We're reading this in real time with you folks because this just came out a couple hours ago. The details really are here. Credit card payment options that make buying NFTs as easy as shopping online. Custodial wallet that secures and stores NFTs on behalf of customers. Customer service that provides your customers help when they need it. I didn't realize Nifty Gateway was in the, like, I guess, like, the white glove service onboarding large brands. I didn't think that was like their thing, but I guess it is because they've been tabbed as the partner for Odyssey.
So, well, here's what's been going on with Nifty Gateway, because I've been paying a little bit of attention to what they've been doing. They've been pivoting over the last couple months, or maybe the last 6 months plus. They've been pivoting because their revenue stream of rugging the community with a bunch of overpriced open editions and not providing any community support, basically that ran out. Like, they rode that horse into the ground, made a bunch of fucking money off the community, and then realized
that juice.
Yeah, they squeezed it all, and then they're like, "Oh, it seems like people aren't fucking with us anymore. What are we gonna do?" And so now they've kind of turned around and they've been much more community focused. They're opening up to like other collections and aggregators and existing communities and artists in the space besides the top famous people, the M&Ms that want to come and do a fucking cash grab. They're actually focusing more on community lately. And obviously this, finding ways to do big brand integrations and be a launch pad is part of that pivot and how they continue to grow and exist in the space. Again, what they're doing here, I think is a very smart strategic move, and actually what I imagine Reddit doing. I kept talking about why Reddit is so well strategically positioned now to be a leader for brand integrations, brand partnerships, and be a launch pad, because they've shown how it's done, and they've got almost 4 million Polygon wallets. This is an example of what being a launch pad for brands looks like.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the Twitter thread here because I'm looking for actual details as it's related to the Starbucks app and adding NFTs, and it seems like this is kind of an announcement of an announcement, or just that the encapsulated summary is essentially that Nifty Gateway is working with Starbucks. There's no here are the details besides kind of glossy.
I think that is
summaries.
The announcement, right? Because I didn't know that it was going to be on Nifty Gateway or through Nifty Gateway. I didn't know that they were the launch partner. So it's that is news to me. The other recent thing that we just shared a day or two ago is that they did send out an email that basically says they're about to start opening up the beta to like, you know, short lists. They're probably going to move down the wait list in increments and opening it up. So that means that, like, you know, pretty soon in the coming weeks, you know, people are going to start to get into this Odyssey experience and see what it's about.
Yeah, Biggie, hop in whenever, man. I got a couple comments. Starbucks tipping is so uncomfortable. Yeah, oh, okay, we got you. We got you.
Loud Starbucks and clear, Poppy.
Don R. I love that the Brazilian pickup line stuff hasn't come up since we've had like the Poppy talk. We even talked about Brazil the other day, and I was like, damn, we didn't talk about it. But anyway, Starbucks tipping is so uncomfortable, even though I believe in tipping generously. Don R, break that out. I would love to hear what you mean by that. Starbucks tipping, is that just like when you go to Starbucks you don't like tipping? Crypto Buffalo is saying, I still remember buying NES games at Toys R Us. Marty McFly is calling us cock lovers. Edgar Vicasio is saying there's some really good and expensive art over on Nifty now. As much as I miss the boom, the boom old days, those were fun. Those were really fun. Starbucks implemented a new tipping system. I haven't been to Starbucks in a hot minute, or at least I don't remember the last time that I probably went about like 2 weeks ago, but I don't remember specifically like a new tipping system. Maybe I just don't frequent it enough. Do you guys know anything about that?
No, man. I get my cold brew like at the supermarket, and then I just heat it up in the microwave like a fucking, I'm not like the biggest coffee person.
I would love to know who in their right mind is tipping at places like this. Like when you're already buying,
I think that's what Don's saying.
Like when you're already buying like a $7-8 coffee drink and then tipping the people that are basically there to take your order. I don't know, man. Like I'm genuinely curious who's tipping. And I guess, like, you know, if you've just got bags of money and you don't care and you just want to spread it around, I guess. Like, I'm sure some people must tip, which is why all these places do it.
I guess I was expecting some type of details to be released, but it might have been in the original article, right? Like, I thought that maybe we would actually see some like live implementation from these beta testers, but apparently, again, like Gifdead is saying, part of the story is that those emails are going out to testers. So we'll see in the next coming weeks, hopefully, some like live usage is what I'm looking for. So Starbucks Odyssey will be an extension of their Starbucks rewards program. Starbucks Journeys, a series of activities such as playing interactive games or taking fun challenges to deepen their knowledge of coffee and Starbucks. They'll be rewarded with Journey stamps, limited edition stamps. It looks like stamps will be available for all members to purchase directly with credit card. No crypto wallet or cryptocurrency required. And I'm looking at a couple others. What do you got, Gif?
Well, let's just contextualize it one more time. Why are we giving airtime to Starbucks? Why does any of this shit matter? It's because Starbucks is one of the biggest consumer brands in the world. They have one of the biggest loyalty rewards programs in the world. And the way that they handle this experiment, whether it fails, whether it succeeds, it's actually similar to like the ApeCoin situation, right? Like everybody who's not into the Yuga thing is sick of hearing it and doesn't like it. But the point is, like, these experiments do matter for where the whole space goes, right? This experiment, whether it works or it doesn't, is going to set a standard that every other big brand, every other loyalty rewards program, they're all going to be looking at this and saying, oh, they did this, they didn't do that, this worked, that didn't work. That's why I'm fascinated by it. Again, and even, you know, from somebody with a background in branding and marketing, I want to see how they try and do this and how it goes, because it has massive implications for the future of Web3.
It's the same thing we were talking about with Reddit avatars, right? Like, this is why we want to see and why we give airtime to things like Reddit. Yeah, of course, they're big conglomerate businesses. We'd love to support the smaller creators that are doing things. And certainly we do that. You know, like, I want to have more creators on the shows and things like this to highlight what they're doing to help support that. But when a big company like a Starbucks comes through, it's like, well, is this going to do well? Because if it does well, it provides a blueprint for further companies.
And this is also the type of shit that actually has mainstream potential to onboard thousands or millions of new people into Web3, whether they know it or not, right? Like, just like Reddit onboarded maybe close to 4 million new people, or at least 4 million new wallets, without them even knowing it. Like, these are really meaningful programs, right? They have the potential to scale and build on the space.
I'm getting our latest ticker running here. Big, you got any thoughts on Starbucks? You going to be watching?
No,
it seems like you're not going to be using it.
I completely passed on the whole thing. I didn't even bother signing up. I'm not a customer. I'm just not a customer, so I don't want to shit talk it. But at the same time, like, I mean, what Giv was saying is, like, I think it has to enhance the experience, right, for customers. Like, it can't just be like, I mean, sure, it can be another like rewards program type of thing, but I don't know. Like, to me, it has to bring some type of enhanced value or experience. If not, then yeah, it's just a glorified rewards coupon program, and who the fuck wants that?
Well, so right now, the rewards program does not include collectibles, digital assets, gamification, different types of incentives, ownership of any of that type of stuff. Right. So it's like, that's what they're doing. They're deepening the relationship with their consumers, and they're gamifying the rewards experience. And I do think they're providing new types of values and improving or making that experience at least, more interesting, potentially more valuable. So
it's kind of like the difference between Blur and OpenSea. You know, Blur is really trying to incentivize the rewards programs and community engagement and incentives, and OpenSea is really just kind of a big behemoth conglomerate.
You know what'd be cool if if you're like some kind of whale, or like reach like a really big status in that, and you're able to like jump the line to get the coffee. Because the few times I have gone to a fucking Starbucks, it's taken them forever, and so that would be kind of cool,
VIP
right? Like,
treatment.
reach a certain status,
Yeah.
like, you jump the line.
Status. Yeah, so, VIP treatment and status would be a great incentive. That would be an awesome utility. And I mean, you look at how airlines segment their different customers and then treat them differently. I mean, you could start to see types of things like that happening at some of these types of stores. I don't know. It's a good idea.
I think we were going to have that topic of conversation on the show. Someone had posted a tweet, I believe, last week and was like, hey, the largest holders of NFT projects should get more incentives, should get more rewards. It's like, is that a good precedent?
That was an interesting topic. Can we bring that up? Can we bring that tweet up?
I mean, I would have to go digging. You know how active I am on Twitter, Giff. I got it.
Well, let's summarize it, because I think that basically the conversation or the debate was around this idea of, obviously, like, there's an ethos of like inclusivity. There's this competing ethoses in the Web3 space about inclusivity, open source, decentralization, all this stuff.
And also equitability.
But status as well.
Equitability, but yeah, that's the other side of it, right? So it's like, at the same time, so much of this is about status, exclusivity, rarity. It's like these two things do not really mix. And so you're starting to see that conflict playing out in some of these communities where they're kind of trying to do both. And so the question then is like, when you're looking at a community of collectors who are all in the same ecosystem, they've all got the same NFT, do you stratify and treat them differently based upon what level of, how many they have or how much they paid? Like, one example
how long they've held.
How long they've held. So one example real quick, Q, is, and I think you actually reacted really negatively to this, is that Bored Apes prioritized the lower tokens in the land. Remember when they
that was bullshit.
So yeah, so they had the lower tokens closer to the yacht club in the other side, and that was never specified or anything, but it's basically like rewarding a certain strata more than the other strata and treating them differently. And can you even get around that? So I don't know. It's a fascinating conversation.
So the Bored Ape Yacht Club decision here was in the other side. There's this main island that has 1 through 300. Basically, there's little plots 1 through 300, and those plots were given to the apes 1 through 300. It wasn't randomized. So when mutants came out, the mutant serums were randomized. The ape tokens were given out not based on the number ape that you held or anything like that. It was based on everyone got the same. So all of what Yuga's done has been either random or super equitable until they dropped the other side land. And they were like, you know what, this main land, we're not going to randomize it, which is what they should have done. They should have been like, okay, out of the 10,000, random numbers make up this main club island that's going to be the most valuable. I was talking to Mike Finch earlier today because we were looking at getting into this club island area and kind of like split the land, and they're going for 42 ETH at the lowest. So you look at other side lands, even close. I mean, I know that the floor is like 1.5, but obviously you gotta get into some rarity. So as you move away from that island, it gets less and less, of course. But it was just a really, really shitty situation, and not many people were talking about it, which I thought should be. But to your point, Gif, like I think it shouldn't be based on when you got in. That's my thing. Is like who holds Bored Ape number 1? Probably the most in the know people, but probably the people that minted first.
So that's true, but also
wait like 2 weeks to mint out. So like I would say like their thought process was probably like we're going to reward the people that believed in us first and bought in versus the rest. Although
there's a belief and then there's an insider.
Before. Yeah.
There's a belief and then there's like friends and family, which is a little bit different, right? Like number 500 is probably not your friends and family. Number 5. Probably your dad. You know what I mean? Like this is my thing. It's like when this was brought up, it was a very simple discussion because people didn't want to wait in line. So they're like, oh, if you're holding a shit ton of Bored Apes, you should get to cut the line. Like Franklin should be able to cut the line at VIP events or things like this. Like I actually agree with that in a sense. I don't really like Franklin. I don't really vibe with him. We've talked about it a lot, but that is more based on the amount that he holds, not when he bought in. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I draw a distinction.
I think each collection is going to have to create their own incentive systems and focus on the values that they think make the most sense, right? Like I don't think there's one size that fits all. I don't think you can say every collection should abide by such principles. I think it's up to the collections and the founders and their communities to align on certain ways to incentivize and reward their community. So I think it's going to be fascinating again to see like what experiments and different models play out with regards to this. I like when you say you shouldn't reward people for how long they've held, like I think that's an interesting take, right? Because like one of the most obvious ways to reward loyalty in a community is who's been in it the longest and kept holding. Right? Like to me, you might want to be rewarding the people that have diamond handed and held on.
I don't think that's wrong. I mean, I think I really like the way Moonbirds does this, right? With the nesting feature, which tracks how long you've held, and you can reward based on traits and stuff like that. That's all good. Like especially if you come up front and mention it, But the rewards are meant to be like just that, like rewards. Like they're not. It should not restrict access. Like when it comes to access, everyone should be equal. It does not matter what you own, how many you own, how long you've been. If you own a Moonbird, if you own an ape, you have access completely, right? Reward wise, I think it's something that like can be massaged out and can be gamified and can be made to be fun, right? I mean, you definitely like if you've been in Bored Apes from the very beginning, I think it's cool that you maybe get rewarded with something, whether it's virtual or physical or digital.
But I think the access is interesting, like especially to something like an IRL event, right? Because you get into these like VIP, like where was it? There was somewhere that I went to recently that was like a really exclusive VIP party. I think it was here in like the Hollywood Hills. It was literally like a crazy fucking mansion that was super exclusive, invite only, RSVP. So it was already like this crazy,
gated.
gated, like you had to know somebody to be there, and then it wasn't even like a packed house. It was very exclusive already. And then you got inside this house, and they had literally set up like a roped off area around a couch inside the house, and I'm just like,
for the VIP of the VIP.
It's just like that type of shit is a little bit redundant and stupid, and I think that's kind of how I feel about like an exclusive token gated NFT event, where it's already, to me, very curated and exclusive if it's or built around these NFTs and their collectors. And again, these are values that I think each collection gets to establish their own rules and the values that they want to, promote and how they want to incentivize. But I agree with Biggie that I actually personally, whether or not Franklin or whoever has 50 fucking apes, if I've got my ape and I'm super amped up and I get in line super early, I get myself ready. I get myself in line and I get there fucking before you to get into this exclusive fucking party. And then you're just fucking cutting and getting into the line. I'm going to feel kind of like, yo, fuck that guy. Like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Like,
it's a little bit of a balance that they have to play, right? Because guys like Franklin, and this was the arguments that were made in the debate, was the guys like Franklin and guys that own a ton of a certain asset, one, they probably have more money, which means they probably have a little bit more influence, which means they probably have a little bit more reach. So all of these factors influence whether they can help your project, But it's a balance with the community members, like what you're saying, your example, just the one holder, whether you're going to alienate them because you're favoring the other guys.
And that's why it's complicated, and the communities have to decide what are your values around these things, right? Because obviously, to your point, Q, like a lot of communities, they're going to choose the clout and the big influencers over making it a more equitable, inclusive experience at these events. You've got to choose that, though. I don't think you can have it both ways. That's what's interesting about it, right?
Mm-hmm. I have a bunch of comments here in chat that I want to get to. Marty McFly is talking about Blur, saying Blur takes 0.0 and OS takes 2.5. So there is no marketplace fee on Blur. Enough said.
Interesting for right now, like, okay, that's fine. But like,
he's also saying behind, but Gifdead sounds like me. Don R's, I don't know which one he's referring to. We have to start the shows, or Marty has to get his ass in gear earlier so that he's not playing catch up on these shows. Don R saying everyone who is here now is positioned well for when we are returning to the bull market. There are seasons to reap and sow, which is said really well. We are going to move on into the next topic here because we do want to keep these episodes around an hour and 15 if possible. There is one comment that I want to get to related to Starbucks. Flubber was saying that apparently the tip feature now that Don R was talking about, which is they almost force you into tipping. So it's tip over 100% or 1,000%, or you kill a toddler is the option they give you there at the point of sale. So basically they're strong arming you into tip, which definitely doesn't feel that good. All right, the next topic here is Blur and OpenSea. We hit on this topic early in the episode, so we won't spend as much time on it. But essentially, Blur came out over, I would say, the last 2 days. So December 6th here, talking about how they're being strong-armed by OpenSea into not having their projects listed. If you associate now with Blur, you're not able to be listed on OpenSea, which is essentially happening with the creator royalty fee tool that OpenSea has implemented at the contract level. If you have another project like a Blur that you are getting royalties from, then I believe OpenSea is blocking that post. And I need to read into that. Maybe I didn't. I need to explain that a little bit better. But Gif, you were also talking about it this morning.
Can we pull up? Yeah, can we pull up Jeff Nicholas's tweet? I sent it to you. I can pull it up if you want.
Yeah, no, I got it. Sophia Garcia saying, upon further investigation, we couldn't realize, and let me make sure that I'm getting it. So this is basically a creator of an NFT project. We couldn't realize OpenSea's new policies are around creator fees. For new contracts, they ask you to include on-chain enforcement. when what they really mean is block competitors in your smart contract, or we're denying you the royalty payment. Jeff Nichols is firmly on the other side of this debate, saying, to be really, really clear, Blur.io is playing victim and gaslighting, saying OpenSea is cutting them out, so creators have to choose. In reality, Blur is using creators plus existing collections as bargaining chips for market share, trying to frame it as OS trying to monopolize.
So I think it's both. Again, this is a very complicated topic, and I think, first of all, Jeff Nicholas, I love, always has great points, but I think he's taking the other side of it, so it's good to see both sides. But I think it's actually both. Like, this is absolutely, and we've said this is absolutely a power grab by OpenSea, because what they are doing is they're creating a standard for NFT royalties and the entire NFT space, getting people to put their code into their smart contracts. There is a downside to that, and that is basically a sort of like, they get a sort of monopoly. And so that is true, that there is a danger to agreeing to and instituting this standard that OpenSea is creating as a solution for right now for helping to protect royalties. So being aware of that is very important. The other side of it, which is Jeff's point, is also true, which is that Blur's trying to act like they're a victim here, when they are just using, like, they threw artists and artist royalties under the bus as a way to capture market share. And the fucked up part about all this is that there's this fucking war going on between the marketplaces for market share right now. They're all just like, this is all just like out there, transparent, capitalist competition, trying to like paint each other as the worst bad guy and steal market share from each other, or figure out how they can, succeed and get more money and more revenue. That's what's happening here. But the artists are stuck in the fucking middle, and the artists and the artist royalties are being fucked around and treated by, or they were being treated like they were totally expendable and didn't matter, which, again, yesterday we fucking proved is bullshit through that data that was published around the amount of royalties, $1 billion plus, that has been going out to creators. This shit really matters, and the marketplaces are playing fucking games with the artists and the artists' interest in this whole thing. That's what's fucked up about it, is that while this war between the marketplaces is going on, the artists are stuck in the middle, and kind of getting dicked around.
Yeah, the marketplaces are setting the standards, as has been said multiple times here the past couple months. I'm pretty on the side of, again, like earlier in the conversation, I'm not going to be using OpenSea anymore. It's clearly based on a lot of the things that they've done since they've started, that have led me to, other competitors that are offering things like 0% marketplace fees, things like an open market kind of answer to these creator royalty questions and things like this. So yeah, I don't want to get too far into the weeds on that stuff as well. But Biggie, do you have any thoughts on OpenSea and Blur going at it on Twitter?
Man, it's just I guess like dirty business tactics, or I don't appreciate the approach. I guess I'm a little more like, if you're gonna compete, shut the fuck up. Like, let your actions speak. Right. It's this thing with Web3 that everybody likes to go and whine on freaking crypto Twitter as if like they're gonna like get people on their sides, which apparently they do. Some people do like to join this stuff, but in the end, may the
as we sit
win.
on a fucking as we sit here on our daily talk show where we talk about this shit constantly.
Definitely, may the best marketplace win, and I think, like you were saying, Nifty, like, just vote with your ETH, man.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, and we're in a small enough environment right now where that stuff does matter. It doesn't seem like it, but in this small ecosystem as it stands today, where 10, 100, 1,000 individuals choose to place their ETH or transact in their ETH, can actually make a huge difference to some of these marketplaces.
Yes. So here's what I like, just to be clear, because I think it's confusing about like what's the actual step forward. When I'm talking and I'm railing on all this shit, like, what's the actual like hope? Like, just to be clear, what I would love to see is that the marketplaces can agree that artists matter, royalties matter, and that like artists getting paid is not optional. So come from a place of protecting artists first and foremost, and then compete your fucking hearts out to create a better experience. Incentives like you keep bringing up the tokenomics, things like this. Make a better product. Make a better product, make better incentives, compete on the product marketplace level, and don't make the competition around whether or not the artists deserve to get paid. That's what I want to see happen, is that like I want to see the community and the ethos of Web3 for creating a paradigm shift for artists being able to support themselves and capture more value and get paid for their work. I want to see that exist. And then marketplaces, go to whoever the fuck you want to compete. Be as fucking cutthroat as you want, but don't bring the artists and everything that artists have been fighting for into your fucking bullshit. That's what I'd like to see. I know that that's obviously a little bit unrealistic, but actually it does seem that the momentum has largely shifted because of the outcry from the community around the royalties. And that's at least some kind of positive momentum there.
Yeah. I agree. I completely agree. At this point, my disagreement with OpenSea is as much as they are framing themselves as like somehow this white knight, when literally a month ago we were just flaming the absolute shit out of them, and they decided hey, we got a big response from the community. We need to really shape our narrative better next time. And I just think that they're doing it again. I don't say ethos, I say narrative, because I really do think that if we didn't have a response like the way we did as a collective, that they would have just done it. They would have just gone the same route as everybody else. So I will give them a sliver of credit for actually pulling the trigger and saying, hey, we need to actually go in here and enforce the royalties, even though there's a whole bunch of rash of issues according to that. Real quick, in GIF, let me know your thoughts here while I pull this up as well. This is just a look at the overall Ethereum ecosystem marketplace. It looks like OpenSea and Blur are competing with the top spot here as it sits today. You can see that orange essentially is Blur and blue is going to be OpenSea as well.
Yeah, I think a couple things, right? So we've mentioned it several times. This airdrop mechanic, Blur has really innovated on the concept of an airdrop and how you execute that, specifically in terms of stringing it out, doing it as a blind airdrop. like gamifying it as a blind airdrop is fucking brilliant from a marketing perspective. It's got people literally moving all of their volume and activity over there. Then that's what you're seeing, is that like it's incredibly successful. And so that's the first thing, is that you can see how impactful this new innovative airdrop mechanic, where they're stringing it out over 6+ months and not actually telling you what you're getting. So it's all a mystery. It's very effective. That's one. The other part is that for now, how are they going to keep that going? That's the really annoying thing to think of, because they could theoretically be stringing this out for years if they really wanted to. We'll see. But the other part is that you see how much of the total volume they've taken, to the point that they are the now second runner-up competing directly with OpenSea. And so to this last point, the last conversation point, or I guess it's what we're still talking about. It's like, this is now a battle. They're locked in horns. Like, this is a death, battle between the two that are fighting for market share. And that's why you see them out there trying to spin their narratives. Like you said, Q, like these two are fighting for the top spot. OpenSea is actually threatened for the first time. Competition is good, but again, I don't like, I think it's fucked up that the way that Blur and a lot of these other marketplaces have built their market share is first and foremost by just throwing artists and artist royalties under the rug. And I want to see that the standard of protecting royalties instituted across the board, and then like compete everywhere else. So anyway, I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I've said that a million times. Now I'm a fucking broken record. I apologize for that.
I am interested in what other marketplaces, and I've asked this on the channel multiple times, and it's a consistent kind of question as the marketplaces continue to develop. But like, what other marketplaces should we be looking at? You mentioned Uniswap. That was one that was launched. I can pull up that data as well, maybe sometime next week, and see how that marketplace is doing. Interface looked good. It's an aggregator. It shows you, I think some of the innovations were it was pulling like the lowest floors, although that doesn't sound that innovative. I feel like the aggregators should have been doing that in the first place, right?
It feels like it's not the 10x that you need to really like change people's behaviors, and so it'll be interesting to see how they do and what they can do to keep innovating. I would love to see Uniswap do well. I'm gonna use their tools. I don't know how much I'll use the marketplace yet, but it would be good to see them succeed because again, we at least know Uniswap has a history and are dedicated to the concept of like open source and some of those Web3 values that most of us appreciate.
Yep. I think it's at this point, Coinbase OpenSea has like pushed me to that point where I actually, want to make that decision.
Is Coinbase even on there? Can we pull that up again? Those charts?
Yeah. Again, this is via Dune Analytics. So I'm over here making a entire folder of the Dune. I don't know why I didn't do this before. But at Dune Analytics dashboard for things like the ape staking, for things like the NFT marketplaces, different NFT price floors. Coinbase is not on here. Oof. It might be in the other category, right? I can probably find a Dune Analytics if you give me just 2 seconds. I could find the Dune Analytics for Coinbase.
This is fascinating. Like what's going to happen with Coinbase, especially given the iOS situation. Because again, you would think of all the
not doing hot $1,500 in the last 24 hours. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, of all of the companies who were positioned to do well, this to me it shows that they didn't really execute well or roll out well. Because they should be, I think, doing at least a little bit better probably at this point than they are.
It is kind of crazy that those demographics don't cross over as much as they probably thought they would. Like
between crypto and NFTs?
Yeah, because that was their model, was like, look, we're the on ramp for all of crypto, but it looks like we're so far down the funnel that like mom and pop and people using Coinbase, they're not buying NFTs.
But this is what I mean about bad execution is I don't think they did enough to actually educate and onboard and on-ramp their community. They treated it like an experimental beta test instead of fully committing. That's fair. And so that's what I think you've seen is like basically a beta rollout. And instead of fully committing, like, I mean, they did do like a big commercial, like.
Yeah.
Great.
Floating QR code.
But that's different. But yeah, that's different than again, like, hey, we have
it's not education.
We've got 100 million fucking people over here that we have a first party access relationship to that are all have crypto in their wallets. Like you talk about incentivizing, like look what Blur's done with a creative incentive program. Like they could have done all kinds of shit because they're already tapped into everybody's crypto wallets. Dude, they could have done a million different creative fucking incentive programs. So that's I think it's just bad execution, honestly.
Yeah. They are a revenue producing business. To be honest, that is not like that is not, I would say, unique in this space, but the amount of revenue that they produce could have led to a lot of incentives to like collect NFTs over there. They could have done a lot of stuff to bring more native Web3 people into that platform by saying, hey, we're going to give you these tokens, or we're going to just incentivize and all the things that we're talking about. Yeah.
Anything. Yep. So to your point about OpenSea, right, being fucking lazy about incentives, like Coinbase too, right?
Don R saying pro royalties, anti-tipping, pro toddler. Marty McFly saying, think of this, since Reddit supposedly onboarded so many people, has overall NFT volume gone up at all? No, it's been only down, so it's theoretical only. That's not, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but the reason that we cover this stuff is more for, I guess, like the exposure and having a successful, I guess, exposure to people that weren't involved in NFTs before and getting their hands on a wallet. Right? Like that at the end of the day, if they do that and someone's holding it and not having a completely bad experience, that person is now quote unquote onboarded. Not as much as we'd like, where they're trading cock punches and getting after the degenerate shit with us.
That takes time.
Exposed.
That takes time.
Yes.
Yeah. This is not a fast solution thing, but I want to find Giancarlo's tweet on this. I don't think we mentioned this on the show.
Yo, we are sitting at an hour 30, so we do have to pop off here relatively soon. We said we would cover the most influential, and Vogue came out with the top 100 tech and Web3 innovators. I can't read this, Gift, so I don't know.
It's a joke because it's token gated. That's the joke. I mean, we should call it out and fucking talk about how stupid they are. Like, literally, they're trying to create a fucking influential list, and they're not even making it, like, broadly accessible. Like, fuck your list. I don't know who's. That's the whole point of sharing that. Is like, hey, look how fucking stupid you are. That was it. That's the point.
Okay, we see some comments coming through. We will go through this because I can't have this on the dashboard another damn day. We're CZ. CZ's number one, but these are not in order. Okay, that Coindesk made sure to say these are not in order. Also, the term influential means the amount of influence they've had over the space. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but some people are thinking popularity. Some people are thinking like singular events. It's just influence and impact there. So we have Zach XBT, who's like he actually got a grant from NounsDAO yesterday. $150,000 grant from NounsDAO to continue his research. That's a great Twitter account to follow if you're not already. Yep. I know you were talking about Zuku Wilcox, Biggie. Is that Zcash you were saying?
Yes, sir. That's the founder of Zcash. You know, one of the big proponents for crypto privacy. Yeah, definitely a good follow if you're into that. Like pioneer, man.
All right, number 5, Molly White and the Skeptics. Stop me when you guys see ones that you know. Yatsu, shout out to Yatsu.
Yeah.
OG, that is the professor right there as it comes to NFTs. Balaji's in here.
Yeah, he's
what are Balaji's interests in the space? Like, what is his? I'm sure he's a VC, of course, so he's probably investing in the space.
He's an academic for starters. And yeah, his whole thing is network states right there, which, like, to just do a TLDR real quick, it would be kind of like parachains or like subnets, but for communities, you know, but on like the IRL level, like for governments, for currencies, for countries even. He's got some really mind-blowing ideas of where this space can head to. Is definitely a good follow. He is dense, though, as...
Yes, he is.
Hardcore.
Yeah, he goes extremely in depth and way over some people's heads, including myself sometimes.
And, like, take some breaks. For sure.
Marty McFly is saying, what's OS's excuse for not dropping or lowering their 2.5%? And he's also saying, why not have a max $500 fee so you don't have to pay 8 ETH when you sell an ape? Marty McFly, my favorite person that has ever existed in the space, as Gifdead shakes his head. Punk 6529 is on the list, of course. Another great Twitter follow. Jerome Powell here on the list. That is, again, this is impact here. Let's see.
Oh, dude, Alex Pedersev, yeah.
For My Ladies Cash. NFT community? My Ladies NFT community?
My Ladies, yeah. Really? Come on now.
No,
not at all.
Yeah, I've never heard of them.
They caused a bit of a stir for a while, but I mean, yeah, no thanks.
Maxine Waters and Patrick McHenry for getting the ball rolling on the U.S. stablecoin bill. Okay. Get behind some of that. So not a lot, I mean, you know, a lot of like high level regulatory people here. I mean, other people in tech.
Ferocious. I mean, for sure he's cool, but there's other artists.
This is pretty dope. Sarah Script was in the GM Web3 Morning Show talking about this photo right here, which she did as a one-of-one for Carol House, who's on this.
It's amazing.
For advising President Biden on coordinated federal approach to crypto.
Sarah Heckin Script. Let's go.
Arthur Hayes, me and Biggie talk about Arthur Hayes a lot on this show. If you're not following Arthur Hayes, please do so. He's in that Balaji camp, I think, of just being giga-brained and writes really well. I think even Probably writes better than Balaji though, when it comes to kind
Definitely
of
more
absorbing the
accessible
detail.
and like easier to follow, right? Tyler Hobbs, dude, fucking generative pioneer, creator of Fidenzas. Surprised Snowfro isn't there.
Tyler Hobbs
What's
is here.
Snowfro's name? Snowfro, it's like Nick something.
Eric Calderon.
Eric Calderon. That's right. Is he? He might be on there. Keith Grossman's a good one. I like
Jordan Fish, Kobe.
They had
so Kobe made the list.
Punk 6529. That was a good one. Matt Damon. Ugh.
Bro,
come on.
No.
That's awesome.
He shouldn't be on there for this. He's not.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't.
Well,
Gif, I'll fight.
It out.
I will fight a little bit on this. I think if you're talking about maybe not impact, but like most people when they think about crypto that aren't in crypto, I think they would say Matt Damon. Like that crypto.com commercial was literally everywhere.
Yeah,
I got more Matt Damon comments than I've ever had about Bitcoin, I think. That's probably a stretch, but you know what I'm saying. The four horsemen, Do Kwon, Alex Mashinsky, Suju, and Steven Erlrich.
Wait, where's SBF?
He's
on
a
the list.
league of his own. If they're the four horsemen, he's the fucking death incarnate.
Lucifer.
Vitalik. That's important.
Yeah. Number
Vitalik
42.
should be up at the top. Yeah, Vitalik should be up at the
in
top.
order.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, Adam Brotman for blending Starbucks' 60 million member loyalty rewards with Web3. There we go.
60 million members, yo. That's fucking huge.
There he is.
Pally Bot for knocking Reddit's NFT marketplace out of the park. We're getting some crossover here on the episode. Love to see it.
Hell yeah.
Sam Bankman-Fried, there he is, for putting the hyphens in crypto savior turn market wrecking ball.
That's a really euphemistic, nice way of putting.
Yeah, dude.
What he is.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. It's pretty par for the course in how he's being treated. Wiley Arano, Nicole Munoz, and Greg Salam. I think these are Garga, and this is Yuga. This is Yuga here.
Okay.
Bow-tied bull. I'm not a follower of oh my god, Gifdead.
Gary V
made the list, baby. Woo!
And Avery. I think it's interesting the way that they position this. And I guess it's because Avery, look, I think Avery should have had her own spot. I think they should have fucking not put Matt. They shouldn't have put Matt Damon in there and put fucking Avery in there. You know what I mean? I think it's interesting though how they put Avery and Gary.
People in some of those
and
slots.
I think it's probably because Avery is, I believe, the head of Vayner 3 or running that division. So it's like she's very, very important and active in running all of Gary's Web3 stuff. So that, like, I get why she's there, and again, I think she should be there. I think it's kind of interesting that they paired them like that because, like, Gary also deserves his own spot, doesn't he? Like, I don't know. I would think.
Of course he does.
But hey, you know what? Shout out Avery. She deserves to be there, and I'm happy to see that.
Don R is saying, "Where's Nifty Q on the list?" You know what?
Number 51.
Secondary honorary.
Number 51. You got to get
coming in on the honorary
next page.
Committee.
One page over.
Who do you think makes the crossover the most? I guess maybe Snowfro on that list, but who makes the crossover from like just super grassroots? Who should be like number 51 on this list? They extremely left off from the grassroots community. I know, of course, looking at a top
besides Nifty Q and Biggie Poppins and Ronan
and Gifted, yeah, and us. Besides us,
myself, yeah.
we knew that it was going to be heavily regulatory, heavily tech. What from the Web3 native community? Who would be that entrant for you? Gary V crosses.
X-Copy is an interesting one. Blau wasn't on there, was he? Blau, I feel like
Beeple wasn't on there.
Oh, Beeple.
Yeah.
You know what? From people that I have known in the space who have been there, always really doing awesome things. Who? Goldie? Is that what you said?
Coldy. DOLDIE. Artist also. Big OG.
I would say from my personal group of friends who have been like grinding in the space, who I look to a lot, somebody like a Cass Vegas or a Jen Stein, are fucking amazing. I think as far as like influencers go, they're not at that like higher tier yet, but they're influential on the community level and doing great shit. You could look at people like Eddie Gangland and Gabe Weiss. I feel like
Gabe Weiss,
they're kind of getting to that level. I don't know. I love VGF, bro. Like I look to him a lot. I think he's super smart. Jonah and VGF, two dudes who are like I look at them tweeting and showing up and doing what they're doing, grinding. And dude, even somebody like a Jeff Nicholas, dude, we pulled up his fucking tweets in here. Like I respect what he says a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Lindsay, right? The Warp Sounds crew, they're fucking dope.
You know
anyway,
who
those are a few.
they should have
Frank
put there?
Chaparro maybe from The Block is pretty good as a research analyst. But go ahead.
Andreas Antonopoulos. Why is he not there? That is strange too. Very weird. I mean, he's
what are the Bitcoin
forever.
maxis talking about these days? Lightning.
Lightning
Self custody now.
I don't know. Where's Kane Mayfield when we need him? Yo, can you pull up this tweet that I sent you though, real quick before we end the show? This is John Carlo, because this is like we're hopping back to the Reddit combo real quick. This is what Giancarlo tweeted out a couple of days ago, which I think, everybody's fudding and talking shit, but they're not looking at the long term and like how important this shit can be. So Reddit is probably getting close to 4 million wallets now. This was like a week ago. 255,000 avatars were minted in one day, an all new high. Like this, like I don't know. Yeah. So people that are like, nobody's really hyped on it right now because maybe they're down or like you're not seeing the immediate impact of this. This shit is huge though. I think it's big. So anyway,
I guess the funnel to Polygon is what we should be hoping for, right? Like what's going to be the funnel to get them into the larger ecosystem, or does Reddit, like you're talking about, just become its own like insulated network of all these millions of people that are buying, selling, trading, and then that's the opportunity?
But I think insulated is the wrong word, because the way that they did it is not insulated. So I think, yes, Reddit becomes its own, self-sustaining ecosystem by itself. But because they've bridged it, they've made it interoperable with the larger space, some of those people will start to trickle out, and then they'll migrate and they'll get more interested, and then they'll share it with their friends and say like, yo, did you know you could do this? And so it's like there's a tipping point for these things. It doesn't happen overnight, but like it slowly grows, those cracks start showing, and then the dam breaks and there's a tipping point. And so it's like we're not there yet, but like you can see how we get there maybe a year from now, where it's like all of a sudden there's a certain utility or a certain project or something happens, there's a catalyst, and then fucking thousands or tens of thousands or millions of fucking Redditors all start fucking moving over and like engaging. And I don't know, man. That's
I'm with you, dude. Bringing it full circle on the episode, who benefits most from that scenario? Polygon projects, maybe an Aavegotchi. Polygon projects could benefit from this funnel going back into that ecosystem.
And speaking of Aavegotchis, I would love to try sharing my screen with you guys, because I tried earlier and it didn't work. Can I see if it works now?
You can see that, or you can drop me a link if you want me to check it out. But I think you're in platform.
I want to pet my Aavegotchi so Gif can see them and like maybe get one.
There we go.
Oh, it's showing.
All right, we're in.
Oh, nice.
Pet that thing, dude. Let's pet it.
I got a couple of them.
Pet that cock. Oh wait, we're on the wrong.
Whoa!
Wrong project.
That's that's a collab right there. That's a crossover.
I wonder if they'll have petting. That'd be funny. Look at how cute they are, and they all raise their hands and shit.
Do you pet them all at once?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Before you used to have to go one by one. I'll do it twice just because sometimes it doesn't go through.
See, the MetaMask pop-up is an automatic, like, until we figure that out.
Yeah.
On the onboarding, like that would be a reason, Oh, there they are.
There we go. See, that's my boy right here.
Hey.
Rasta.
They're freaking cute, man.
Rastafari. Yo, can you go back to that dashboard?
Oh, never sorry. Mind. I got you.
That dashboard was a throwback. The first time we ever saw, if you go back to the main dashboard, I think not that one, but the other one.
This one.
It's like more color based. Anyways, one of those dashboards that I saw was like severe throwback vibes because it was the Ethereum to Polygon bridge. It showed the ETH to Polygon bridge. Oh, Oprah looks pretty good.
Yeah, just give me a call when you're ready to buy. It's all yours.
All right, man. We'll do an OTC trade here shortly, but I gotta also buy CockPunch today, which I'm excited about. Listen, I'm excited. I'm gonna share it on social media after this, just so Gifdead can paint me in a good light again. I'm not in graces right now. He doesn't believe what I say. Don R saying Nifty Q just fell off the list with his petting comment, and Marty McFly saying next Ferris will introduce stroking. All right. Yeah. Look, that being said, I think we're at the end of the episode. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm going to let Gifdead take us out here. Biggie Poppins, you've been amazing this week, man. Stop by for 3 episodes.
Hell
we appreciate it so much, man.
So much fun.
Man.
Honestly, I enjoy it so much. So let's see if we can pull it off next week too. That'd be fucking dope.
Fuck yeah, man.
Hell yeah. Y'all give Biggie some love in the chat. Go follow him on Twitter. He's coming through, making this show even better. Just with his awesome insights, with everything he brings to the table, his energy. But yo, if you haven't already, smash the like button and subscribe. It really, really does make a difference. And you know what? If you've been watching our videos and you haven't subscribed, you're a rug. You're a rug. That's it. There's nothing else to say about it. You're straight
dirty
up.
Rug.
You're a dirty rug.
You need to be beaten.
But yo, this is the last show of the week. We'll be back Monday with more GM Web3 and NFT Live. And everybody who's been hanging out, participating in the chat, y'all are the fucking goats. Straight up. This chat has been lit today, and y'all really make this show so much better. Smash the like. We appreciate y'all. Our vibe, our tribe. Let's heckin' go.